Hello and welcome to another week where we discuss economic news that is impacting small and diverse businesses throughout the world, really. So, as always, I appreciate you stopping by and taking a listen on what I have to say. My name is Jamie White. If you are, if you like the series and everything that we're doing, make sure that you like, subscribe, leave a comment on the video, and share with people who you think this would benefit. So let's go ahead and let's get started. To start off, the jobs report for the month of February was released. Um, and as you can see, the U.S. economy loses, according to NPR, U.S. economy loses steam, adding only 20,000 jobs last month. Um, now, let's go ahead and let's get into this. Where does it say it at? The increase in jobs for the month of February was well below the 180,000 projected by private analysts and the smallest gain since September of 2017. And I believe that issue happened like right after a hurricane or something. So that was kind of why that drop happened. I kind of remember that. But this is a huge drop. Now, while people are seeing this for the month, I'm actually going to take the stance of a few of those, well, a lot of those right wingers, if you will, in terms of this doesn't. I don't think this should incite a panic. I don't think people should look at this and say, okay, we're in a recession now. I just think that this is an abnormally low job increase. But I do think that this should pick up in the month of in this month of March, simply because I mean, geez, February was just a really tough month when it comes to things like weather. Here, let's, as NPR explains near the bottom, one month does not make a trend. One reason for the February weakness was harsh weather, depressing job growth in construction, hotels, and restaurants. Remember, we had the polar vortex for, if you're in the Midwest and the East, basically 2 weeks. February is already a short month, so basically, the beginning of February, you had them negotiating the government furlong furloughed uh, uh, workers. So people probably weren't hiring because they weren't sure exactly how that was going to go and if that was going to hit again on February 15th. And then the following 2 weeks, we were just in a polar vortex. So it kind of makes sense. Obviously, that's still ridiculously low, but I wouldn't panic just yet. Um, Unemployment rate is at 3.8%, which is near the record low of 3.7%. Although I do think that is misleading. I always felt employment rate is misleading, but doesn't talk about the participation rate, which is usually at around the mid 60% level. Up. In addition to this, the wages per hour grew 3.4%, which I mean, when you're only hiring 20,000, it kind of better. So that's essentially where we are currently. And there's some nice charts to kind of let you see how we've been going over the past couple of years. Now, regardless, what I will say is that this may be the first big indicator that we see where the economy is slowing down. And it's something that I've talked about late last year. Experts are saying that it's probably going to start second half of this year, early 2020. That's when people are looking at it for it to really be like, okay, we're going to slow down. So we'll see what happens. People, I've seen estimates, which I showed last week, about how they're expecting, the growth rate to be around 2% or maybe lower, around that 1.7% ish. So this isn't going to help. If you're a fan of the Trump administration, this isn't something that you want to hear. This is probably going to drastically hurt the first quarter numbers in terms of growth rate and everything. So we'll see how that goes. But not good numbers. But I do think that this isn't a cause for panic. Um, I did want to show the Washington Examiner just because they put a little bit more of a positive spin. I try to be as balanced as possible, NPR just basically tells you, hey, this is what it is, and we think that this is going to lead to the slowing of the economy. This gives you a little bit more numbers. It kind of contrasts, what's going on over the past couple of months and how it kind of deals with that. Also talks about how the interest rates, short-term interest rates, probably aren't going to raise anytime soon, which I think we can safely agree with that. Next up, so I always take a look at CBIZ and um, ADP when it comes to small business. So as you know, if they've released a report about jobs, um, that means that we have CBiz and ADP that have also released their jobs number as well. So for CBiz, um, they are showing reported a month over month seasonal adjusted increase in hiring of 0.09% in February, following a decrease in hiring of 2.9% in January. So CBiz definitely had that drop, and as you can see, just a really small growth. And it kind of goes through the big industries and whatnot that they see that at. But what I do want to kind of point out is the ADP because they actually gave you the number. So according to ADP, companies under 49 or under 50 added 12,000 jobs last month, so in February. So if this is true, and that means that small businesses accounted for 60% of the job growth in the month of February, and that's while you don't want to see this type of number resulting in small businesses carrying the load. This does always this goes back into my point that I'm consistently making, which is small businesses are necessary. They need more support, and they need more support in particular in times like these. We're seeing because I'm a supporter of small businesses, we're seeing diverse businesses growing at a high rate. So because of that, I think that they need high support to match that. And again, in cases of situations like this, when we're seeing drops in the economy, drops in job opportunities, drops in growth rates when it comes to our economy, like this is where we need to lean on a little bit more. So yeah, economists are predicting roughly 1% annual growth rate for the economy in the first quarter, down from 2.6% from last quarter. So so yeah, from what I saw for the entire year, I should say I saw that 2%, 1.7%. So if they're estimating this to be a 1% growth rate, I mean, ooh, that is a significant drop from almost 3% for the entire year last year. Uh, I'm not going to speculate now, but if that's the estimate, we'll see how that goes. Last up, as you know, I always like to leave you guys with something very interesting. For this one, we're going to talk about Canada invests 2 billion in women entrepreneurs to grow the economy by 150 billion. I think it gets the year that they're looking to do this. Uh, maybe they don't, but basically, I've read through it. Uh, it's just one giant article about if you're interested in women entrepreneurs, and how a country can support businesses catering towards women entrepreneurs. Like this is a really good article. The 16% um, of all small to medium sized businesses in Canada are majority women owned. However, Canada is seeing women starting businesses at a higher rate. So they're essentially looking to support them and make them a larger part of the economy. And makes sense. I 100% agree. When you see a group, however you want to define that group, for this one it's women. Who cares? However you want to define it. If you're saying that group make up more and more of your business participation, it just makes sense from a national standpoint to support them. And this article makes 100% sense to me. So yeah, that's good, and I can't wait to see how that goes over the next 5 to 10 years. So with that being said, I'm going to cut this a little bit short because I'm running up on it. But as always, thanks so much for you guys' support. I hope this was very informative to you. We are. It seems as if we're now the ball rolling towards that slowing economy seems to be picking up a little bit of speed. Definitely make sure that you are prepared to account for that and move forward from that. So with that being said, thank you so much for your time and have a great day.